I take my glove off.
What do you want to bet
what
on?
door?
What do you want to bet on it?
The little one down on the bottom?
No, the walk-in door.
How much you want to bet? I don't got a pickup
bet
already.
you got to stay 20 minutes longer if you don't make it today.
Okay, because I don't know how long I'm going to stay anyway. Oh, too low.
You owe me 20 minutes longer, Pete.
I already did it. Here 20 minutes more than I wanted to be.
Well, right now, Cole and me and Cooper are kind of looking. We got an LP tank here today, trying to figure out where we're going to bring in the LP line.
I'm kind of tempted to bring some dirt in here before he gets here, though. I just want to make sure that if any water gets in this area, it's going to run out around that way.
That's the little box Cooper made. We're going to take it over by the little building, get it set up, and then we'll be ready for cement, and then it will be ready for our little converter.
I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we're finally going to get our pit done. The bad news is all this rock I put in the other day, I have to dig out, and then we have to pour concrete around it, and then drive full semis on it 2 weeks after we poured it. Apparently it was in the original design that we needed to have concrete 2 feet out and 2 feet deep all the way around the pit. Which is fine, and honestly, it's what I would prefer, but what I'm frustrated about is this pit was the very first thing we had done this summer. It's been sitting here for 3.5 months like this, and they're just now bringing it to our attention. I can sit here and complain about this, but it is what it is. We just need to get it done right, so we're gonna do it. So I got the old JCB here. I need to get all this dirt out of the way because we gotta dig all this rock out. We also gotta do the same thing on this side and this end. And I guess the bright side about it is this manhole area is already open. I guess pitter patter, let's get at her. Oh, look at that. I made it a whole 30 minutes before it started to rain, but I guess we're making some progress on the ramp. Oh, snap. What do we have here? Hey, you got a license to operate that?
It's got no radio, man.
Good morning, everybody. As we can see, we got a nice little rain. Got some puddles actually forming. The ground's actually pretty sticky. From a precipitation standpoint, we've been pretty dry these past couple weeks, so this is actually pretty nice to see. Dang, look at all these night crawlers. One there. Oh, that's a nail. That's a big one. Man, those things really scoot along. They leave a little trail on top of the mud so you can see where they've went. There's one that goes, it starts all the way down there, works its way through. Holy cow, that one's a marathon runner. As soon as I started filming yesterday, it just started to drizzle enough to spack up the camera and just kind of hard enough. I didn't want my camera to get all soaked, so I didn't film. So we ended up building the approach on this side. We still got a little bit of gradualing out to do and got to get some dirt on that side yet, but this is pretty much how our approach is going to look. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Now what's probably going to happen is turn 4-wheel drive on. Now probably what's going to happen is the millwright guys aren't going to want to come out because it's sloppy. And yes, I legitimately struggled walking up that hill. Look at that. It's kind of hard to tell the contrast on camera, but I'd say I did a pretty good job for just eyeballing that in the dark while it was raining. Random little break in the video, but as I was just sitting here, I got thinking, holy smokes, it has been 3 years since I started my YouTube channel. I started in October of 2018, right at the beginning, and it's the beginning of October 2021 right now. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if I went back and I watched a couple areas from one of my first videos. Let's see how much things have changed. Ooh. Well, first off, what kind of intro is that? Quiet. Oh, I remember that tire popping on the combine. It happened right behind the house. We got the old 2388 right there. Man, I miss that combine. Oh, it looks so much different than the 9230 now. Oh, then we pulled the 674 carts with the John Deere and the 7140. They look normal size on that. What did I do to my skin back then? My face is so clear. And the trees in my yard. Holy smokes. 3 years. It's changed that much. Tire must have blown out or something on the combine, so we're going to run across the field and see what's going on.
The way I talk
it's so much slower than I do now. That's something I kind of picked up as I got more into YouTube, was got to pick up the pace a little bit, because otherwise I sound really boring. And that baby was flat. Oh, Cole, you're running over the beans. Leaving yield in the field. Oh, come on now. He had to dump on me, though, to get some weight off of him. Ooh, yes, we used Oliver for the auger back then, the 10-inch Westfield. That is so much slower than the 13-inch now. I mean, the 10-inch was still great. That Oliver was loud, and I can see Callie has not changed at all. Got some beans in my boots, holes in my pants, got my old boots on. I wore those things for like 6 years. Uh-oh, don't get run up. I remember doing this, because the tire took off down the hill on me. Oh, that looks so much different. Wow, that was quite the transition, Cole. Good job. Holy smokes, I even recorded vertical back then because I didn't realize you had to turn your phone sideways in order to go full screen. It's just amazing how much I'm able to learn, and I think we've made over 500 videos now, so that brought back a lot of memories. I remember all that stuff we did there too. Whole video. Wow, what are we gonna look like in 3 more years? Really cool. And it's all because of you guys. You guys have been keeping the channel going, so thank you. I would like to apologize because these last couple days have been full of meetings and stuff in the office, and then when I actually could get out here, then it started to drizzle and stuff. So I feel like this video is really light on content, and I'm sorry about that. I don't like doing that to you guys, because if you're willing to take 10 minutes out of your day, 15, 20 minutes, however long I make the video, and sit down and watch it, I want to make it worth your time. Something like this comes up. Oh, geez, that's heavy. And speaking of frustrating, we found another problem. Oh, and I forgot to mention, last night the drywall guys started working, and they got a good majority of the ceiling done. We still don't have the boots on the pipes that come out of the roof, so last time it started raining, it was running in through those open holes yet, and it would have been getting drywall wet, so they had to stop until we get some boots on. This is legitimately a problem. This is heavy. Then you get over here, and it doesn't even hardly stick to the bottom of your boot. That's just crazy, the drainability of ground that has not been disturbed compared to over there, which is the new ramp. We have a problem with that auger. And that one too. It's just not there yet. So in a nutshell, this is our 12-inch floor auger that will unload the bin. That thing comes in 20-foot sections, and they bolt together with this male piece. It goes inside of there, and then you just throw these bolts in, so that turns it into a 40-foot piece. And then we take these pieces and we end up sliding them inside. I'm getting all caught up in barbed wire here. Why is this here? Now we take this 40-foot stick and then we slide it inside of this tube. So that's what's in the tube in the floor. What happens every now and again is, since we bolt these together, these 2 bolts are able to break. What happens is, if those bolts end up breaking, the power end of the flighting still continues spinning. So it brings grain all the way to here, but since that bolt's broken, this end does not spin. So now you have a half-plugged auger with bolts broken in the middle. Normally that's not really a problem, because you just come up to the auger, come out of the bin, you climb on the inside, you unhook it from the center sump, then you can pull that entire flighting out. You're probably seeing the issue right now. These things come in 20-foot sections, remember? That bend's only like 10 feet away. If those bolts ever break, which they do, how in the world are we supposed to get that flighting out to replace it without pulling up half of the floor, just like it is right now, splitting the auger in the center and pulling the auger out that way? And when it comes to this bin, first off, we run into the same thing, because we'd have to pull it that way and it would hit this bin. But on this one, instead of running halfway through the bin like that tube, this bin runs all the way through, so that way I can hit our drag conveyor that'll take it to the leg on the other side. But when we're running the floor sweep on one half of the bin, how do we keep this other half of the bin's auger from running empty? Because an empty auger just rattles around and it ruins the flighting. Which ultimately means we would be pulling it out in an area we can't get it to fit that much sooner. Now, the contractor who does this all the time should have known better and not set us up for a trap like that, especially when this is a brand new facility, brand new area. Everything is perfectly straight. It's not like we were building this into a Mickey Mouse setup. But at the end of the day, it's my fault, because I was the one who approved the design. But I was also under the impression in the design that we were going to be coming out in an area more like over here. So that way, if we had to pull the flighting out, you'd be able to sneak it right along the side of the bin. I really can't be mad at anyone other than myself. I just wish I would have done more homework, and then I would have saw these problems ahead of time. But you get excited when this stuff is coming, and you sit down with someone who does this for a living and designs stuff, and you just trust that it's gonna be the right way of doing it. But after looking at this now, it's not. But we can wish all we want, but that doesn't change what is. So we're gonna fix this, and we're gonna do it right. It's not gonna be able to be the way that it was originally designed. I think what we're gonna end up having to do is have that sump come right out of this side, right on the south side, and do the same thing with the other one. Since there's no way they're gonna get these reclaims in this harvest, just have a regular power head come right out of the south side of both of these bins. So at least this winter when we're hauling, we'd be able to get an auger under that. We'd be able to fill a semi over there. Kind of wasting $70,000 having this overhead bin for this year. But I think what we can do is, since these will be coming out on the south side in both these bins, we'll be able to take a drag conveyor right through here, all the way to where I'm standing. I'd like to go all the way up to that dryer pad and then take a 90-degree left right over to the leg, so that way we'll be able to hit it. I don't think I'm allowed to get that close to these electrical boxes. So drag conveyor will come right here. Then we'll have to have another one go over right towards that air conditioning. Then where those pipes are laying on the ground, there'll be another one that'll go to the leg. That is definitely Mickey Mouse, and it should not have been built this way. Like I said, brand new design and nothing around here. Everything could have been straight. My fault. But I definitely think that's a superior option to going this route. And now I'm thinking about it, we're gonna have to get a new bend sheet or move that bend sheet over there. Then I was also thinking down the road when we end up putting these two bins like this site is designed for. With that old auger setup, the only way that corn would be able to get over to the leg would be right through there, which would mean literally twice as much grain would be going through that floor auger in this bin. So it would be wearing out that much more quickly, and we'd run into our same issue. Where if we had that drag conveyor through here, these bins would just be able to have a power unload on the opposite side of the bin. It would drop right into that drag conveyor. We'd have a lot simpler unloading. I think that's what we're gonna end up having to do here. So welcome to the mistakes that a 24-year-old farmer makes. School of hard knocks, baby. But that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.